Side.
This being
Their focus and intensity. Starting group for the Clippers. Some stats for him. He averages over 21 points.
Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freak.
And just about a minute in.
Been in the league. Said last season he wants to,
even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his.
Speaking of Irving's stats, last season a signature shoe in his name. I see, in fact, that you and Clark are wearing him tonight. That's always a big target.
and that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Now here's Leonard. He's coming off a 22-point game against Oklahoma City. Cavaliers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Nobody near Irving. From outside, off the mark. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they come in off a good outing against the Warriors in Oakland.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And most impressive when you do it on the road like that. They just kept coming at him wave after wave, and they really kept the crowd on mute in that.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
Leonard, the pass to Parker. Aldridge dishes to Green. The shot will not go. Good D by Thompson. The Cavaliers trail by 3. Irving kicks to James. Puts up a 3. And again, LeBron missing. And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
Anderson, he's checked in for Leonard. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for the Cavaliers. And he gets it to go.
The defense just too soft on that possession. You have to be closer and contest at the rim.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
And Parker, here we go. Spurs passing it around. Here's Aldridge, and the basket good. A bank shot that time.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Here's Dellavedova. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Here's Irving. Anderson with the block. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. Wallace with it. Guarded now by Duncan. Love, no good.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Duncan misses. The Cavaliers trail by 4. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks. I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. West is checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Martin's checked in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Cleveland's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. Passes it to Fry.
Is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams that
left to play in the first. Stolen by Anderson. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Here's Martin. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And both free throws good for Martin.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Dellavedova from outside. Offensive rebound. Now here's Fry, covered by Mills. Second shot opportunity, and Cleveland again with the bucket. Spurs leading by 3. West draws the double. From the arc. Diaw can't hit.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
And here is Fry. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Good on the triple. Fry's got 7 points in the game.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the 3-ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well.
Some great action here early. And Tim Duncan closing out what's been a remarkable career, a Hall of Fame career.
He really transformed.
Osmano saying Duncan, no doubt the long-term face of the Spurs franchise and arguably their best player ever, which brings up the conversation, Greg, of where he stands all-time league-wide.
Well, he's right there. And listen, let's give him a little more credit. I mean, he's got 5 rings now, you know, having won that championship 2 seasons ago. But look, Kobe's in that category with 5 rings and an MVP as well. So he's an all-time great. I don't know how you rank him, but when you have a conversation about the best ever, Tim Duncan will be in it.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here. What do you think they've been doing or not doing?
You always like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
Yeah, I agree with you. They've done a nice job, Greg, working it low and not taking the easy way out on offense, keeping that pressure on the defense by going inside.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Cleveland, LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Amon Shumpert is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's Thompson in at the center. And guys, is a second-round pick, Danny Green, was once an afterthought out of North Carolina. Now, he's one of the most dangerous three-point shooters in the league.
You're right, Kevin. Throughout last season, and 42% from beyond the arc for his career. And great consistency, too. He's been over 41 every season for the past 4.
Talking about Danny Green, he owns one of the better field goal percentages for a volume three-point shooter in the league. He's a marksman at the charity stripe, too. A valuable role player for any offense.
The Spurs making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. Channing Frye's checked in for the Cavaliers. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Three-pointer. No luck. Now San Antonio takes it the other way.
And when you think about Danny Green, he doesn't just hit from downtown. He does it when it counts. Go back to that NBA Finals back in 13, and he made a total of 27 threes, smashing that previous record of 22, and that's coming up big in the biggest moments.
And Thompson throws it down. Spurs leading by 6. Green with the ball. Now guarded by Shumpert. Cavaliers have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Shumpert's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Parker passes to Leonard. A shot by Duncan, nobody around. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Now, here is Irving. Coming in off a 41-point performance last game out. Here's James, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Shot's good. Well, you know, he's not a guy that's just going to settle for pulling up. When he has an opportunity, he's going to take it strong to the hoop.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
Yeah, it wasn't his best performance at all from the stripe. He's got to put it behind him, and I know he'd like to immediately. And I think it's clear he's gotten better in that department since last season. I mean, he looks a lot more comfortable at the line now, and he's getting better results. And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
And the wide open shot from Green. No good from outside.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Fry dishes to James. Now, here's Fry. He's guarded closely. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
Timeout Spurs.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And I know that's a game they'd like to forget. Sort of a tough day for them all the way around.
I don't see any reason they won't be able to rebound from it quickly, though. Quite honestly, I think this is a resilient squad, and they'll bounce back quickly.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Cleveland also making some changes. Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson. Smith comes in for Shumpert. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving. And here's Fry for 3. But they'll get another chance. Smith wide open. He fires. And he misses the go-ahead basket. And Mills kicks to Diaw. Takes a 3. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And here's Cleveland. They're on a 10-2 run here. And how much more is there to say about LeBron James, Clark? Incredible consistency, unbelievable athleticism. He just is a marvel in every way the longer he plays.
Kevin, when you look at his career averages, I mean, just off the charts, and he has the same unbelievable year every year. The consistency, phenomenal.
And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for San Antonio.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor. And talking about LeBron's consistency, it's not just a physical effort. It's also A mental one. I mean, you know you're targeted by the defense all game. That'll wear down even the best players. How is it that LeBron's armor just never seems to be penetrated?
You know, on the topic of LeBron, one of the few areas where he could improve consistency in is from the three-point line. 3 years ago, he hit over 40% from downtown. 2 years ago, 38. And last year, down to 35.
Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for the Spurs. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Love's checked in for Channing Frye. And it's David Ova missing. Spurs leading by 4. Knocks it loose. Martin kicks to Mills. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Anderson passes to Mills.
Club rebounding was their big advantage.
Clearly, that was the overriding factor. A double-digit advantage on the board. They just pounded them inside.
And here we go. The shot and game clock separated by 4.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Got it off in time. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And so it's a close game as
Thanks, Kevin. Coach Popovich, a strong first.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. Their biggest lead during the opening period was 5. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, you expect the home team to take care of business, and they have. They didn't play flawlessly, but they held their own.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
And now the start of the second half. Neither. Side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the 5. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. And Leonard has it in the corner. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. 12 points for Leonard.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
I think they're playing too soft on the perimeter. They can't stay so soft. They've got to get up into the shooters here.
That ball is good for another field goal. His 6th. He is 6 for 9 on the stat sheet.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense. Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And Tristan Thompson gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Cavaliers.
And, you know, with Tim Duncan, there are no flaws in his game. He's even become a good free throw shooter now. He's averaged 76% from the line the last 3 seasons after being in the 60s much of his career.
Going back to Duncan's improved free throw shooting, Greg, it's really changed how you play him now at the end of games. If you foul him now, it becomes one of your worst options.
And you know, that's a sign of a true warrior. You don't want to show any weaknesses in battle. So Tim went out and turned one of his biggest weaknesses into a strength.
90 seconds now into the second half. Parker kicks to Duncan. Kicks it out to Leonard. Parker dishes to Green. Off target from outside. Cleveland's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Shumpert, no good. The Spurs have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. There's Green, plenty of space. That doesn't go either for Green. The Cavaliers have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Here's Shumpert. Again, Shumpert missing.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Green inside the three-point line. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
Leonard attacking, and Shumpert pulls it down. Well, the Cavaliers shooting a pretty brutal 29% since the break. Got it. Nice one there from Dellavedova. Dellavedova's got the lead up to 2 now for the Cavs.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And last year's midseason trade had to feel good to Iman Shumpert. Toiling away in New York, injured, uninspired. Boy, did he find new life in Cleveland. Of course, playing next to LeBron can do that for you.
And some changes here for the Spurs. West is checked in for Duncan. Martin comes in for Leonard. And it's Ginobili in for Green. Parker passes to Aldridge. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 3rd assist on the night. And for Shumpert last year, Clark, he added the defense and athleticism on the wing that Cleveland so desperately needed.
Yeah, he sure did, Kevin. And he also became a facilitator of all things. I mean, you wouldn't expect that from him, but he averaged over 3 assists a game, easily the best mark of his career.
Good point. Aldridge kicks it to West, outside for Martin. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. To the middle, and Parker with the block. To the middle, takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Parker's got the game tied up here for the Spurs.
He's been aggressive looking for a shot, but without much success. It might be time for him to take a step back and look to help the team in other ways.
A different look now for San Antonio. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Parker. And Cleveland with a change here, too. James is checked in. Here's Mozgov, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
And that one is hammered home.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Ball stolen. And here we go. Shumpert running it up the court. 1:35 left to play in the third.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And here's Fry for 3. They get it back. Mozgov kicks to James. A 3 ball. Mills with the rebound.
I'm all right with him taking that shot close to the hoop, but really not from long range.
Spurs passing it around. Diaw with a wide open look. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Dellavedova kicks to Mozgov. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Well, we know that Mozgov started last season with the Nuggets and then was traded to Cleveland midway through the season.
And what an impact he made on the Cleveland Cavaliers, particularly at the defensive end. His size and his activity really helped the Cavs become outstanding at the defensive end.
Spurs making a switch here. Anderson's checked in, and the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for James. Love comes in for Channing Frye. J.R. Smith's checked in for Shumpert. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Matthew Dellavedova. For San Antonio, they have been lying so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
Tries again. Thompson misses.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
The Spurs shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Outside Irving. Got it off in time, and the release was before. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the 4th quarter. San Antonio leading by 6. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. Tristan Thompson is out there with Kevin Love, and it's Irving in at the point guard position. From outside the arc, that is good.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Kicks it to Leonard. There's the 3. And it's Kyrie Irving with the rebound. The Cavaliers trail by 6. It's stolen by Green. He feeds it to Leonard. With the fadeaway. Another miss by Leonard.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Love dishes to Smith. That falls. Great assist by Love. Love's got 3 assists now in this one.
Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
And here's Green outside. That's good. Green's got 6 in the quarter.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Cleveland's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the 4th quarter. And James gets it to go.
A pretty free look from three-point range. The D forgot about him on that possession.
Well, LeBron had kind of a slow start to his season. His return to Cleveland last year.
Yeah, he got off to a bit of a slow start. He had some nagging type injuries, but things turned around, and LeBron was eventually able to get the clubhouse atmosphere where he wanted.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And that atmosphere that LeBron was after, I mean, he described it as wanting a family-like atmosphere.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Aldridge, the pass to Duncan. Green kicks to Duncan. Parker with no one around. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And to touch on the Cleveland atmosphere, you know, you can see as the season unfolded, it became a big part of what LeBron was able to accomplish in Miami, starting to work itself into that roster.
Nobody near Leonard. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. And it's a 9-point San Antonio lead.
And he's finally getting the feel from beyond. His second 3 of the half right there.
And it's James missing.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
A three from Leonard, and again it's the Spurs from deep.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
I don't know. There might be more defense in the warm-ups. Right now, these are just shooting game shots.
The drive by James. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. Here are the Spurs with the ball. They're on a 12-3 run. And Leonard gets it to go.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
I tell you what, any team will take that. I mean, if you're shooting over 50%, it means you're getting the kind of looks you want on offense, and you're being smart about it, and you're knocking down the good shots that you get.
Spurs leading by 12. Parker. It's offline from half court.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Neither am I. I mean, if you're going to attempt a buzzer beater, I guess I will comment. Make sure there's actually a buzzer to beat.
Here's San Antonio. They're on a 14-5 run. Aldridge, no one around him. No good with the triple.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
Here's Smith. Shot is no good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Here's Leonard. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Lots of room. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 7th assist here tonight.
And for Kevin Love last season, he didn't want to be called a stretch four, but the numbers suggest he was exactly that. Nearly 1 out of every 2 shots he took was from 3, a much higher ratio than at any other time in his career.
Mills, he's checked in for Tony Parker. The Cavaliers trail by 12. LeBron, that's a 2-pointer, and that one goes long.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one. Short stroke. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession.
Cavaliers ball.
For Cleveland, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th, and even 50%. Launches it. Another 3 for Cleveland.
Now this is more like it. 9 points for him from 3-point range this half. That's 9 more than he had in the first.
Green. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Really taking advantage of every scoring opportunity. They've somehow found a way to make this thing exciting.
And you know what we call that, Greg? Spurt ability. When they absolutely needed it, they found it. A frantic finish in store.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
And a wide open look for James. Cleveland gets it back, and Thompson kicks to Irving. No good there off the double clutch.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
From deep 3-point range, Leonard no luck. And here's Cleveland. They're on a 13-4 run right now. For 3, Irving can't hit.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
Really just continuing to increase the lead. This one should be easy for the rest of the way.
Yeah, and you know, Greg, at this late stage, a lead like that has a team really feeling quite good about itself, and deservedly so.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it inbounds that time. Three from the inbound. Money! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one.
Irvin's got them falling right now, that's for sure.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock.
As clutch a shot as I have ever seen.
In a word, gutsy.
That and one free throw upset to a 2-possession game. Costly foul on the shot that time.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. They trail by 4. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's James.
Boy, is it tough to stop LeBron right now.
Balanced scoring, Clark, for them. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watching it. Okay? I like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar.
You might want to cut down on that sugar intake, though, Clark. But anyway, everybody's been involved in this offense here early on, and it has a way of helping you defensively.
Right between the eyes. A tremendous three to tie it up.
And you know what? He's got a new BFF. It's the triple.
And it has been his BFF today anyway. Most of his points have been courtesy of the deep ball.
Here's Leonard. It's off. Regulation is ended and we're heading to
OMG.
Time. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. You're watching 2K Sports. Well, if you love great competition and neck-to-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number 1. Getting going right now. And the Spurs start out with the ball. And away we go here with post-regulation basketball. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court right now for the Spurs. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wing.
What?
Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Mills in at the point.
That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
Defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness. And guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G.A. You're right.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But, Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And the Spurs making a change here. Parker's checked in. It's extra time here. Just over a minute into overtime. Irving from long range. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
They get that one, but guys, on the night, that's been the problem, securing the ball.
They've been out-hustled. At this point, hard to see them recovering from that.
Leonard dishes to Aldridge. Back to Leonard. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. 34 points for Leonard.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Here's LeBron. It goes straight through with the switch.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Duncan kicks to Parker. Yes! And the foul. That one on Love.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash-mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks the coach drew up.
Good.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster. Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that. That's 2 unproductive trips in a row ending in turnover.
And one thing you can't do is string together those kinds of possessions. It can snowball in a hurry.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Duncan with it. He's picked up by James. From deep, Green cans the 3.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
And here's LeBron outside, and that one's good.
And boy, you want to talk about taking the wind out of a crowd's sails there. A 3 to take the lead just moments after they'd given it up.
More and more intense as we go back and forth in this game. Let's see if they can get the crowd back into it now.
And that's an intentional foul. And so here's Cleveland, and they go to the intentional foul.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
And he does get the second one, and that will put them up by 2. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're behind by 2. We've got 22 seconds left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. Guys, what do you think?
And it all comes down to this. Still enough time on the clock that they should be able to get a real good look.
Yeah, and in this case, you debate often. You hear guys debate whether to take a 2 for the tie or a 3 to win. In my case, with this situation, I think you go hard inside and see if you can get a good shot in close.
Timeout called, Cleveland. They're trailing by 1. We've got 13 seconds left in the first overtime. What's your take, guys?
You know what? Enough time that they can run whatever play they're most comfortable with.
Definitely. I mean, they're in good shape here, in my opinion. Shot clock's off, but still enough time left on the game clock to really run your normal set here.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And he does get the second one, and that will put them up by 2. Timeout called, the Cavaliers. They're losing by 2. 8 seconds left to play in the first overtime. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this, Clark?
Well, I don't think you set that decision in stone and anchor it in this timeout. You see how things play out. You're going to try to get a good, quick shot. And if it's a good 3 with a good shooter, let it fly. If it's something in the paint, then you take that. But it's about being a good, quick shot in this situation.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Incredible composure at the line to tie it up and give them a chance to get it to overtime.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Here we go, San Antonio. The Spurs Knicks team. Fans, get out of your seat and let them hear us.
Here's Green.
Got it! They ran that inbounds play. Oh, no. Bad time to slip up there, Kevin. They got to stay focused.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball. Those were pressure-packed free throws. And he looked as cool as he could be. So big to give them that 3-point lead.
That'll be a 5-second call.
And you can tolerate gaffes like that sometimes, but in a close game, man, I tell you what, that really hurts.
And the officials are calling a technical foul here. You don't see this too often, but they tried to call for a timeout when they had none left.
Yeah, major mental lapse there. He's got to know they're out of timeouts. Just a total unnecessary technical.
You're right, GA. He won't live that one down easily. Not his proudest moment. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
A three-pointer here might have us headed to another overtime period.
And so it's San Antonio who's straight.
Well, guys,
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard. He had just an outstanding fourth. And, folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great